It's time for bed. Tuck yourself in. Get nice and warm and cozy for a bedtime story called Amari, the lion who carried the sky. Let this story lead you to a place of peace and relaxation. In the heart of the golden savanna, where the grass swayed like waves in the wind and the horizon stretched endlessly, there lived a lion named Amari. His mane was a deep, fiery gold, and his eyes, a piercing amber, seemed to hold the weight of the world. Amari was no ordinary lion. Among his pride, he was known for his immense strength. His roar could echo across the plains, and his stride shook the earth. But what set him apart was not his physical might, but his heart. Amari had always felt a deep connection to the world around him. He cared for every creature under the vast open sky, from the smallest mouse to the towering giraffe. But Amari carried a secret burden. He often felt the weight of the savannah pressing down on him, as if the vastness of the world was his to protect. He could feel it in the earth beneath his paws, in the whispers of the wind, and in the endless sky above. One evening, as the sun dipped low in hues of orange and pink, Amari sat on a hill overlooking his territory. The air was quiet, except for the rustle of the grass and the distinct chirp of the crickets. As he gazed at the sky, a deep voice broke the silence. "Amari," the voice said, as soft and powerful as the wind itself, "why do you carry so much weight in your heart?" Amari's ears twitched, and he looked around, but he saw no one. "Who speaks to me?" he asked, his voice steady. "I am the sky," the voice replied. "I see your strength and your care, and I wonder, why do you feel responsible for everything under my expanse?" Amari lowered his gaze. "Because I can feel it. The struggles, the joys, the lives that depend on this land. If I don't protect them, who will?" The sky hummed softly, its voice full of understanding. "Your heart is noble, Amari, but even the strongest lion cannot carry the sky alone. If you wish to understand true strength, you must journey to the edge of the world." Amari's eyes widened. "The edge of the world?" "Yes," the sky said. "There you will learn what it means to carry such a burden. Will you go?" Amari stood, his muscles rippling under the golden coat. "I will." Amari began his journey the next morning. The savannah stretched out before him, its golden grasses rippling in the wind like the endless sea. He moved with purpose, his powerful strides carrying him far. The creatures of the savannah watched him pass, their eyes filled with curiosity and admiration. As he traveled, he encountered a herd of elephants gathered around a watering hole. The matriarch, an ancient elephant with tusks worn smooth by time, raised her trunk in greeting. "Amari," she said, her voice like the slow rumble of thunder. "Where does your path lead?" "To the edge of the world," Amari replied. "The sky has called me to learn the true meaning of strength." The matriarch nodded slowly. "Then take this lesson with you. Strength is not only in what you can carry, but it is what you can share. Even the strongest trees rely on the roots around them." Amari bowed his head in gratitude and continued on, the matriarch's words lingering in his mind. Days passed and the journey grew harder. The savannah gave way to rocky plains where the wind howled fiercely, tugging at Amari's mane and testing his resolve. Each step was a struggle, but Amari pressed on, his determination unwavering. As he climbed a steep hill, he saw a falcon struggling against the wind, its wings beating furiously. The falcon cried out, his voice barely audible over the gale. Amari leaped to the top of the hill, his powerful legs propelling him forward. "Hold on," he roared, his voice cutting through the wind. He crouched low, allowing the falcon to land on his back, shielding it from the storm. "You are kind," the falcon said once they reached calmer air. "But kindness alone will not sustain you. Remember this, strength is knowing where to fight and when to rest." Amari nodded, the falcon's words joining the matriarch's in his growing understanding of true strength. After many days, Amari reached the edge of the world. It was a place unlike anything he'd ever seen, a cliff that dropped into an endless sky, its colors shifting like liquid gold. The air was still, yet alive, with an unspoken power. "Welcome, Amari," the sky said, its voice now all-encompassing. "You have come far." Amari stepped to the edge, his heart pounding. "I've learned that strength is not just about carrying burdens, but about sharing them. That's not just about pushing forward, but knowing when to rest." The sky seemed to smile. "And yet you still feel the weight of the world, don't you?" Amari lowered his head. "Yes." The sky grew brighter, its light washing over Amari. "Then let me show you the truth." In that moment, Amari felt the sky's vastness settle over him, not a burden, but as a connection. He saw the savannah, the creatures he had met, and the lives he had touched. He realized that his strength wasn't in carrying the world, but in being a part of it. "You are not alone, Amari," the sky said. "True strength is not in holding the world, but in trusting it to hold you." Amari returned to the savannah with a heart lighter than it had ever been. He no longer felt the crushing weight of responsibility, but instead the steady rhythm of connection. He roared, but not out of dominance, but out of joy, a sound that echoed across the plains, reminding every creature of the shared bond. And as the stars filled that sky, Amari laid on the cool grass, his gaze soft and content. He knew he was strong, not because he carried the sky, but because he had learned to share its beauty with those around him. Amari's journey teaches us that strength is not about bearing life's burdens alone. It's about connection, trust, and knowing when to let the world carry you. As you rest tonight, imagine the sky above holding you in its embrace, just as it held Amari. Sleep well, and let your dreams remind you of your own quiet strength. Good night, sweet dreams.